In this episode, we're going to address the faded old headliner in this Pontiac Trans Am GTA. Stick around. This will be the first time I'm using this method for doing a headliner. The only other one I've done in the past was for a first gen S10 pickup truck, and that was really just reattaching the cloth that was hanging down. Here you can see this actually matches pretty good. Found this on eBay for under $60. It's pretty much the same color. What's nice about it is it has the foam backing already on it. So the first thing we're going to do is start to remove the old headliner, and I'm going to try and be as gentle as I can because I don't want to damage this backer board. What I realized as I started getting into this is not the first time this headliner has been redone in this car. This material is not factory material. In fact, it's exactly the same thing that I'm going to be utilizing to recover this unit. Now, normally what you would run into with a stock unit is it would be the cloth material and then the foam would be attached to the backer board. And you would end up having to kind of scrape that away from the backer board. But as you can see here, someone's actually redone this one before and actually made a small repair, that tape, that's big square that's on there. On the back side, there's a little bit of the leftover original foam, so I'm just using a razor blade and scraping it across to get all that loose stuff off, so we'll get some good surface to be able to adhere to. Now where this tape repair is, on the back side of it, you can actually feel it's a bit thin there. So I think that's why they put that on in order to help strengthen that spot. So we're going to end up readhering this tape so we can continue to strengthen that area. And on the corners, you can see that it's in pretty bad shape. It's kind of falling apart. So we're going to fix that up by using a little bit of our spray adhesive and try to hold this back together. The material that I got off of eBay is actually much larger than you really need. I mean, my gosh, you'd think this car was like a limousine or something with as much material as they sent. But I'm not going to complain about that. I don't mind having a little bit extra. Now my method is pretty simple here. What I want to do is divide this headliner in half. And this way I'll have a little bit more control when I'm sticking it to the backer board. Now if you've not used spray adhesive before, it's pretty simple. You're going to apply an even coat to both mating surfaces, let it set up for a few minutes, and then you're ready to join both sections. As you use this adhesive, sometimes the tip will clog up a little bit and you won't get quite a nice spray pattern. But it was a little bit cold when I was doing this, so I think that was also causing some of the issues. If you're concerned about the spray adhesives holding up in high temperatures, actually I've used similar products for the hood insulation on my 64 Impala, and through all the heat cycles I've never had any of the insulation panels come free. Now, before joining these, I added a little bit of paper to the corners. What I wanted to do was to start uh, in the center of this headliner and working out towards the edges. So I didn't want the corners to potentially get stuck and then have wrinkles that I'd have to deal with. So I felt this was the safest method for applying this. Now we simply repeat the same method on the opposite side. You can buy new headliner backer boards. They are made in ABS. Now I was at a car show the end of last year talking to a guy with a third gen Camaro, and he had one of those ABS headliners, and he was telling me he wasn't happy at all with the fit and the fact that it had no clips in the front to hold it, so it was just relying on the sun visors to hold it in place. I'm more of a preservationist, and I really wanted to try and reuse this headliner. I did a little bit of research in some local yards to see if I could find a decent used unit that might be in better shape, but most of the cars in the yard are T-top, so that limited the vehicles that I'd be able to look at, and the ones that were left were pretty rough shape. Overall, this process really isn't difficult. You really just want to take your time, uh, work from a central point, and work out to the outer edges. So that way you have plenty of control over it, and you can keep from getting any kind of wrinkles into the headliner material. With the headliner attached, we're going to go ahead and start trimming off the excess. Turning the headliner over, we can continue with applying our adhesive and attaching this new headliner. We'll also need to make a few relief cuts in some of these corners to get a tighter fit. And same as the top side, we're just going to go ahead and start at one end and work our way to the opposite end so we can avoid any wrinkles and make a nice tight fit. It's going to be to cut out the holes for the dome light and then also for where the seat belts will pass through this headliner. Don't forget to make this slice so that you can pass the belt through the liner to the hole. With this headliner, one of the issues that I have is there are 3 clips that go at the front near the front windshield, and you can see this one here is fine. It's a little loose. This one here, the center is broken. Now I have another one that I could possibly put in, but I don't like the way these are stuck in there. I'm not sure how to replace that without doing more damage and the replacement being too loose. And of course this one here is missing entirely. So my solution for this problem to hold the front up is going to be using some Velcro. So I got some industrial strength. It's rated for up to 10 pounds. There's no way that this thing weighs 10 pounds up here in the front. Plus the sun visors on either end will also help to support that. So I'm hoping this is going to end up working, and since it's industrial strength, I'm hoping it'll hold up to high temperatures then as well. that Velcro hopefully to help support that. You can come up here and line things up. So we gotta go over. And Velcro's actually holding pretty good. That's good. Okay. Not looking bad. Once the visors and the side trim is up, I think we should be in pretty good shape. So when you order your headliner, it's going to end up coming packaged like this, simply just rolled up. But this one actually is for my shop truck, so I got to do that soon. But here is what is left over from doing this headliner job. So you do get quite a bit of material, so I got a good amount left over. It's about 30 inches wide. But just to give you a little closer look at this, pretty happy with the color match. The texture of it looks correct for this vintage. Here you can see the back. I'll show you a quick what it looks like through the side there with the backing. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the results. If I had a better backer board for this headliner, I think it would have been a better job. There's a couple areas I'm just not real happy about. You've seen in this that some areas had some damage. You can kind of see a little bit of where those areas are. Most people probably aren't going to see that, but I tend to be a perfectionist, so it sticks right out to me. So it's kind of bothering me a little bit. We'll have to see if later on, if I can find a better backer board, I may end up redoing this. But for now, it's in the car. I'm going to leave it as it is. The Velcro, I think, actually worked out pretty good. So it's something that I'm going to keep in mind because I have to do the shop truck at some point. So I may end up using Velcro at least to help it temporarily hold it in places as I get fasteners put in. So the headliner material is pretty reasonable. You can get it off of eBay for under $60. The adhesive that I used was this. This is certainly no product endorsement, but just so you know, I found this on Amazon. I think it was around $20 for 2 cans. So I didn't think that was too bad. It's supposed to be high temp and hold up pretty well. The only issue that I had with it, and you've seen that in the video, is I'm not too wild about the spray pattern. I've had better luck with the 3M brand, but I wanted to use this because it was labeled as high temperature, so I wanted to give that a shot. Well, that's a wrap for this video. Hopefully you got a little bit out of this, or at least found it entertaining. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Just remember, to subscribe is free, but it helps me. Also, if you like this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up, share it with a friend, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.